How to live stress and anxiety free 24 hours a day is a small help book to teach children how to cope with life. The truth is our feelings and emotions are our God-given instincts. They are not mental disorders. If a child is to feel anxious or stressed or depressed or angry, mad, sad, glad or frustrated or confused, these are not mental disorders. These are perfectly reasonable responses to danger, real or imaginary. In that moment of that feeling, rather than ignoring the feeling and medicating the emotion, the child should act out in that feeling. So when they feel any emotion or feeling, they respond with either fight, flight, freeze, or acceptance. The child who chooses to fight, it's not about being confrontational, but you might ask someone for help, you might seek a solution, you might ask somebody to hold your hand or to stay with you until the danger passes. You might just say no, stand up for yourself, report that person, send an email to somebody, tell your parents, tell your teacher. Taking some form of action is a way of just standing up for yourself and being strong in that action. But another child might find the inability to stand up for themselves, and they may feel the need to flee. And if that's the case, you leave. If you're in your classroom and you've been bullied or teased by a teacher or a fellow student, you get up and you leave the classroom. Go to the headmaster's office, or if worse comes to worse, go home, leave the school. If you're in a job and you're being bullied by your colleagues or your boss, leave your job. If you're in a home and the parents are fighting, you don't feel safe, leave the house. Go into the bedroom, go into the spare bedroom, hide under your bed, hide in the closet. Flight is a normal response for any human being to use if they can't defend themselves. They run away and hide. If you can't run away and you can't hide, small children aren't allowed to leave the house, and maybe if there's any trouble in the house and they can't escape and they can't defend themselves, they will freeze, and the best response is disassociate. Shut down mentally, emotionally and spiritually, and leave the room. You're there in physical body, but you leave the room in mind and heart. You have a fantasy place, a place you can go to in your mind where you can feel safe. And you vacate the building, you go to that place for 5 or 10 minutes and you see yourself in that place of fantasy. Maybe you're swimming with dolphins, you're climbing trees with squirrels. Maybe you're skiing, maybe you're mountain climbing, maybe you're sailing or fishing. There's some place in your memory or in your imagination. In Avatar, you want to go and swim with the fish, you go and do that. In your mind, you leave the building and you protect your mind and your heart by not taking part in the event. And then when it all quietens down, you feel the danger's gone, then you can come back into yourself and get up and move about. We see this in National Geographic. We see a prey running from a predator and it's running as fast as it can, but it realizes it's not going to get away. And the last moment, it turns off its heart and it collapses to the ground. The predator arrives up to the dead body, pokes the dead body, can't understand 1 minute it's alive, next minute it's dead, but it knows by its very nature that you can't eat dead meat because dead meat will be gone off, it's poisonous. And so the predator will poke at the body first, they'll bite the body. When there's no response, they get up and they walk away. And a few minutes later, the prey, realizing the predator gone, will spring back into life, jump up, shake off the tension of the moment and walk away. Disassociation and freezing is a very capable response for any child to use when they can't fight or flight. But the fourth response is the one of acceptance. Unfortunately, nowadays, children aren't taught about God as much as they were in our day. But the idea is that God is always around you and takes care of you. And if you can ask God for help, he'll take care of you and you can give him your troubles. And this too shall pass. So we accept that God is in charge, and if he made everything, he can handle our trouble. And if we can put our faith in him and let him be in charge of it, it'll pass. It may not be a nice picture, but it'll pass. It'll go through it. The next day it'll be different. So these are the 4 responses. Now, young people don't have these 4 responses. If they're told that these 4 responses are unsafe to go to, and their feelings and emotions are mental disorders, they can't respond properly to any kind of danger. And it reduces their ability to become independent, strong young people growing up into adults. And they are the future of our human race. We have to nurture and help our young children become mature adults who can handle situations. But right now today there's some 290 million children diagnosed with mental disorders. And that's on us. To allow that many children not to have a life, not to have a chance of a normal life is on us. We have to find some way of helping these children. So my suggestion is that we start this process where parents, carers, therapists, psychotherapists, teachers, life coaches, they arrange to have kind of lessons in the responses to danger. So if you have a client come into your therapy session each week, you give them maybe 10 minutes of fight, 10 minutes of flight, 10 minutes of freeze, and 10 minutes of acceptance. You teach them how to flight, how to freeze, how to fight, and how to have acceptance. You do this day in, day out if you're a parent or a teacher in a school, and then a therapist once a week or twice a week whenever the children come to you. And over time they develop the strength to trust their feelings and emotions. Over time they develop the strength to trust all 4 responses to danger. And finally, they can step back into life as a normal human being. But if we don't teach them that their feelings and emotions are healthy, if we don't teach them that their responses to danger are healthy, they'll be always under the cosh of looking for someone else to fight the battles for them. We have an obligation to 290 million children to teach them how to become normal human beings. No better, no worse than anybody else. And this book, How to Live Stress and Anxiety Free, 24 hours a day, is a simple practice for parents and for children to show them that their feelings and emotions are healthy and that the responses to danger of fight, flight, freeze, and acceptance are healthy, and how letting God into your life makes a huge difference moving forward. Thank you for listening. Please do take the time to share this with as many people as you can. Thank you very much.